Hey, long time no seek. It's that fantasy chick back again with another stream. First stream of 2024. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, everybody. And I'm here to talk about the last movie I saw last year, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Okay. So, as you know, around here, we like to start off with articles. This article is about Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom's box office, and then compare him to the Marvels, which I feel is kind of unfair. You know, I feel it's unfair comparing those two. So, but anyway, let's take a look at this article comparing the box office of Aquaman to the Marvels. Okay. Oh, they made me take off ad blocker just to look at this ad, and there's ads everywhere. It's so annoying. I hate that. This is why there's ad blocker was invented. Okay. Aquaman 2 box office passes the Marvel's entire global gross in just 2 weeks. Ouch. In just 2 weeks, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom's box office total passed the entire global gross for the Marvel Cinematic Universe's The Marvels. Okay. Okay, we skip that. 2 weeks into its run, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom has already blown past the Marvel's box office total. The sequel to the original Aquaman, Aquaman 2, is the final movie in the original iteration of the DC Universe and comes in the wake of a tumultuous year for DC. The Marvels also serve as a sequel following 2019's Captain Marvel. While both original movies made over $1 billion at the box office, the follow-ups have been struggling to keep afloat. According to two reports by The Numbers, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom's global gross has already passed the Marvel's entire run. Aquaman 2 has earned over $250 million at the box office globally, while the Marvels sits at $199 million. The numbers are disappointing for both movies, as Aquaman 2 cost $215 million to make, while Marvel Studios put nearly $275 million into Captain Marvel and Ms. Marvel follow-up. Okay, that's unfair to combine the two movies together. The threat of superhero fatigue has been plaguing the Marvel Cinematic Universe and the DCEU for years. While it could very well play a part in the unsatisfactory results of Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom and the Marvels, the fact that there have been some positive results at the box office indicates that it is not the sole reason for the failures. After all, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 earned nearly $850 million despite the failures of The Flash and Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania before it. Disney has not yet announced when the Marvels will be available for streaming. Aquaman 2 is still in theaters and is likely months away from a streaming date. Each movie is surviving and failing based on its own merits. While Aquaman 2 has lost its expanded universe, it benefits from having the opportunity to serve as the finale for the DCEU. The Marvels, meanwhile, is meant to serve as a seemingly inconsequential movie in a multiverse saga that has slowly fallen apart after the ongoing Jonathan Majors controversy began with his arrest in March. The future of the MCU has been questionable. The WGA and SAG-AFTRA strikes also struck the Marvels at a more threatening time. The movie was released on November 10th, but the SAG-AFTRA strike ended one day earlier on November 9th. There was little time to prepare or schedule actors for regular appearances on the talk show circuit or any other marketing efforts. The same was not true for Aquaman 2, which was released on December 22nd. This could also be contributing to the massive disparity. Regardless of the reasons, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom is outracing the Marvels with ease. So going by your name, huh? Happy New Year to you. Uh well, I gotta say, I don't know what this means, but the little drinks I had yesterday kept putting me to sleep. I had one earlier, put me to sleep. Had one later on, put me to sleep. Totally missed New Year. I woke up, it was 1 a.m. So my drinks helped me get a good night's sleep, I guess. It was so much better than the Marvels. It's not even funny. Okay. Well, I'm glad that my reviews got someone going back to the theaters because I was in the theater all year round from the very beginning to the very end, watching these comic book movies, these action movies, even Barbie. So, yeah. So, okay. So, I don't know. I like the Marvels. I did. There was some parts that were kind of iffy. There was some iffy parts in the Marvels, but I still liked it. Um I wish the ending had have been different. Um but yeah, Aquaman, oops. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom was a good movie. I talked about this with my sister Moni, and we both agreed that the opening narration was corny because I just don't like narration in movies unless it's kind of lazy when you put narration in movies. To me, the best type of narration is not where it's describing things that's happening or describing or just explaining things. I like commentary, kind of like what Carrie used to do on Sex and the City, that type of narration. That narration I'm okay with. Commentary is okay. But if you have to explain the story or explain what's happening on screen, it gets kind of lazy. And I feel like, especially because there's no other narration throughout the film, they didn't need it. It was only at the very beginning. It was not needed. It was not needed. The thing about the Marvels is it had no real substance to me. Aquaman had substance, but I got past it. Yes, once it got into the actual story, then it got better. Once it got past, the corny little setup and got into the story, then it got better. And I definitely appreciated the story for what it was between the brothers. I like that. And that's, having that be the heart of this sequel, especially with what happened with the last movie with them, with Orm being the main villain, even though Manta was in the movie last in the last movie, he wasn't the main villain. Orm was. Now it's switched, and now Manta is the main. Well, Manta is the main villain with some help from the Lost Kingdom. Really? You did not like Aquaman 1? I loved Aquaman 1. Aquaman 1 was awesome. It was like it was a breath of fresh air the in the DCEU at that time. The brightest films that they had were Aquaman and Shazam. And like, they had a little help with Wonder Woman before that. But so it was like Wonder Woman, Shazam, and Aquaman. These were these bright, colorful films that was just very different from the drab and dark and grungy movies we have been getting up until then. And I'm like, see, this is what the Justice League looked like to me. Bright colors, comedy, good fight. I like the first Aquaman. And of course, Jason Momoa has something to do with it too. As I kept telling my sister, my other sister, Aquaman 2 is basically just what Jason Momoa, but it was worth it. It was so worth it. Was kind of dry. I personally loved it. But I can see. Did you ever want to see an Aquaman 3? Yes. Yes, I would want to see an Aquaman 3. One, I would love to see it with Jason and see how they I would love to see how they what else they would do with Orm in the third movie. And also just for them to get rid of Amber Heard, because my goodness, that girl can't act. She was horrible in this movie. And she had like 5 minutes of screen time, and her 5 minutes was just, it was horrible. She was horrible. I would love to see a third movie without her. Find I can't even think of her name. What's her name? Mira. Find a Mira that has actual chemistry with Jason Momoa. The fact that you found somebody who don't have chemistry with Jason Momoa, who are you? Why would you not have chemistry with this man? Come on. She was like, oh my goodness. There was a part of the movie where she was supposed to be emoting, and it was like everyone else was giving it great. Like, they sort of went down the line with everyone's like, no, no, no. And then get to her and it's just dry and awful. She was not good. I was like, yeah, your test of a good actor is whether or not they can emote without making it look like a joke. And it looked like a bad SNL sketch to me. A bad SNL sketch to me. That's what her emoting reminded me of. None, none, none whatsoever. No chemistry. And then again, like I said, how can you not have chemistry working with Jason Momoa? Have you seen this man? Have you seen him? Oh, she wanted to be there because she needed the money. And she fought to stay because they was going to get rid of her. They were going to get rid of her. You know who helped keep her? Elon Musk. Elon Musk wrote to the WB and because of him, because they would have gotten rid of her after the first movie because she couldn't act and she had no real chemistry with Jason. And they wanted to get rid of her, but Elon Musk wrote to the WB and said some threatening things and blah, 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 blah. And now we have Amber Heard. But if we had a third movie, she would just be gone. They would recast her. And we get to see him with somebody who he actually likes. But yeah. Now what's funny about to go down the list of the actors is I did not realize that redheaded king was Dolph Lundgren until and I had and he was in the first movie. Why I didn't realize it until we got to the credits and it was like Dolph Lundgren and I was like Dolph Lundgren. The red hair threw me off, and because I'm just so used to him just being blonde. But so Dolph Lundgren was in it. Had no idea that was him, but he until the end, and then I was like, oh my gosh, that was Dolph Lundgren. And then the Brian King, I was like, I've recognized his voice. Who is that? And of course, at the end, I would go to the credits, and it's Gimli from Lord of the Rings. So Gimli was the Brian King, dude who kept getting his claw cut off. And I was like, that sure enough sounded like him. And that's why the voice was so familiar to me. He was able to do a voice without having to worry about having horrible prosthetics on his face. And I'm pretty sure they did not put him in a mocap suit. Or maybe they did, who knows, but I'm pretty sure they didn't. I'm pretty sure he just did the vocal. I wanted to see more of that old King villain, or do you feel like they showed him enough? I don't know. I don't know. The guy who was possessing Manta, they probably could have showed him a little bit more, but not too much because again, he was possessing Manta, so Manta was the actual villain of the movie. Maybe we could have seen Manta talking with him maybe one or two times more, but I really don't think I really don't feel like there was a need to see him that often because every time somebody touched the trident, you kept seeing everybody saw something different, which was great. So so you sort of saw his story through everyone else. So I think they got him in there, any way that they could. I think it was very creative the way they got him in there. Like I said, the possession and then the telling the story through the flashbacks. Um, Although I wish there was a part where Orm was just telling the story. I wish we would have. Well, I guess they did show flashes of the story, and then they just had Orm explain it out. It would have been nice to have seen more of the story in the flashes before he went and he filled in the blanks. That would have been um nice. But okay, what else? So watching this again, back to the actors, watching this and seeing Nicole Kidman, and I'm like, Nicole Kidman is probably only 10 years older than Jason Momoa, and they got her playing his mama, but and she playing him and Patrick Wilson's mama. Come on, she is not old enough to have these 30 and 40-year-old men as sons, but that's Hollywood. Once you're a certain age, you're just a mother. No matter how old your children are going to be, in real life, they can only be 10 or 15 years younger than you, but you they mama. Mm. His mama is crazy. Yeah, she's too young. She's way too young. Like her actual kids are in their 20s. So Not no old ass Jason Momoa and Patrick Wilson. But Blue Beetle and Aquaman. Well, too bad the box office doesn't reflect how good the movies were. Because Blue Beetle deserved way more, but I think they were. I think Blue Beetle was a victim of the strikes, even though this is they should Warner Brothers should have gotten creative with um their campaigns and not just be like, oh, we don't have any actors, so there's nothing we could do. Actors didn't always go on these campaigns to advertise the movies. A lot of the times movies just depended on trailers and ads, and they did perfectly fine. You got to learn how to pivot when something happens. Just like you act like you don't want your money back. Yeah, Blue Beetle had zero promotion. But there is a chance for Blue Beetle to make it into the DC studios. So um you know, fingers crossed for that. Fingers crossed for them making it in. Wait, it was my first no trailer, and it wasn't even on purpose. I just never saw it. Uh, well, yeah, I never saw a single trailer for Aquaman 2 either. When I came home, my sister said she had just seen a trailer for Aquaman 2. And she understood what we were talking about with the narration, because that same narration is in the trailer. And that's what it feels like. It feels like the narration was solely there for the trailer. And it's like, fine, have that in the trailer. Take it out of the movie. Take it out of the movie. Movie more enjoyable with no expectations. Yes. This is why I enjoy movies so much more now than in the past. Especially, I feel like I enjoy it a bit more than other people because I go in with no expectations, with no idea what's going to happen, and I just take the movie as it comes, and it just feels better that way. It feels better. Um so I just really it enhances the movie going experience for me. So especially with all the movies that I watched this year, it if I'm going to be spending money to go to a theater to watch a movie and most likely get, concessions and blah 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 blah, I want to enjoy it as much as possible. And not watching the trailers is just because they tell too much in trailers. They really need to to like go back to the drawing board with how they market movies, because these trailers, they tell the whole movie, and it's like, why should I spend money to go see this, because you've given me the whole movie in the trailer? I don't like that. And in my eyes, so to the Marvel Echo trailers. So are you reviewing that? Echo? What's Echo? I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. Uh, I don't know what Echo is. It sounds familiar, but I don't know what it is. Um, I haven't heard of it, so I can't say whether or not I'm going to be reviewing that. Oh, sorry. It was a new Marvel series. It's like some Suicide Squad stuff. I don't know, but everybody talking about it. Oh, it's a new Marvel series. I keep meaning to read these articles that's talking about upcoming Marvel series for 2024, and somehow I start reading it and I never finish. So that's probably one of the reasons why I've never heard of Echo. Um Suicide Squad. Hmm. They releasing all the episodes on oh, it's supposed to be very TVMA. They releasing all the episodes on January 9th? Well, okay. If they're releasing all episodes on January 9th, then there's a chance for me to binge watch it. We'll see. We'll see if I watch it. Watch it all in one fell swoop. And if I like it, Echo. Hmm. I mean, the name doesn't sound like anything I would be normally interested in, but it's the idea that they're releasing all of the episodes all at once, and I can binge watch it. So that way, it'll be easier for me to get through a couple of episodes and see if whether or not I like it. I won't have to wait week after week after week to figure out whether or not I like it. I can tell right in one sitting if I like it or not. Um, but I also January 9th, I also have to make room to binge watch seasons 2 and 3 of True Detective before the new True Detective comes out January 14th. So that's what I planned on doing this upcoming weekend is watching, because like I watched season 1 straight through, and then I started the first episode of season 2 and got disinterested. But since the fourth one is supposed to have wow, I'm giving her a whole nother name, but you know what I'm trying to say, homegirl in it. Jody, why can't I say her? I can't say her. I can't remember her last name. But because homegirl is supposed to be in it, I want to watch it. So now I'm gonna have to sit down and binge watch True Detective seasons 2 and 3 so I can be ready for season 4 of True Detective. Before you go, I gotta make that email me saying they add an ads, or I can go ad free for $3 more. Everybody is going the ad route. It's so frustrating. Um, I already had to, my I didn't catch my free trial in enough time and they had charged me. So I had to call them and be like, yeah, no, 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 no. I barely watched Amazon this free trial. Like after upload, there was a couple of movies I got to see everything everywhere all at once, finally. And a couple of other things, maybe shiny happy people, but I hardly watched Amazon throughout that month. I was like, you're not about to charge me for me to not watch this channel when I didn't even watch it when it was free. So no, no. But yeah, Amazon was just it wasn't hitting. It wasn't hitting. It's definitely not worth $14. True Detective is so good. Please review the new True Detective. Jodie Foster. I don't know why I wanted to call this woman Jodie Watley. I don't know if she y'all probably don't know who Jodie Watley is, but let me just tell you she black. So there's no way a reason I should be calling Jodie Foster Jodie Watley. They caught you the trap. Oh, but trust me, I called them and was like, take that off. Uh-uh. No, I'm not watching this. I never went back and watched episode 2. So I watched episode 1. I think I might have started episode 2 and I never finished it. I mean, I just wasn't interested in it. It didn't feel like the work. Maybe I need to see more episodes before I can see what all the vitriol was about. It just was uninteresting to me. It wasn't like it was like, oh my god, this is the worst thing that ever that happened. It was just uninteresting. It wasn't horrible. It just was not interesting enough to catch me. But I still don't see what all the anger and vitriol against it was for. It was just a boring show. Like, do we need to be so angry over something that's boring? Like, people calm down. It was uninteresting. I didn't say it was trash. I just said it was uninteresting. Yeah. Yeah, they introduced a whole new race of characters who I'm like, are these who are these why didn't they just have hobbits? Because these characters are supposed to be like hobbits, but they're not hobbits. So it's like that confused me, these whole new race of characters. Um and they're bad wigs. Oh my goodness. It was like to be a part of that race meant you had to have a bad bad wig. And seeing bad wigs on TV where they have the budget to buy better wigs just angers me. That gets on my nerves. Bad wigs. I don't like bad wigs. Okay, so okay. So yeah, Aquaman. I have no idea. So we're at the beginning of 2024. Everything that was supposed to be coming out this year got pushed to 2025. I have no idea what's coming out. Just from I think I know Dune Part 2, which was supposed to come out last year around November, is now coming out this year around November, which makes no sense to me, but whatever. They pushed it back a year. They must have had to do some more reshoots. But other than Dune coming out in November of this year, I have no idea what's coming out this year since the whole schedule got pushed around because of all of the strikes. So I have no idea what I'm supposed to be anticipating in 2024. If there's anything, I feel like 2024 is going to be a dry year. I feel like it's going to be a dry year because everything got pushed around because of those strikes. 2025 is going to be popping, but 2024 may be dry. So we'll see. I'll see. Um Blade, is that even still happening? I feel like that's something that got pushed. Blade got stopped completely. Blade got stopped completely because of the strikes. I don't think it's going to be ready this year. I'm not sure if that's going to if I feel like that's one of the things that got pushed. but good because I need to save some money. Oh, $10, $15 at the movie theaters isn't gonna hurt. Look at me. That's like those people who act like not drinking Starbucks is gonna help you buy a house. A movie is a movie. You go to at least in my area, a matinee costs between $8 to $10. So movies, and I always go to the very first show because I'm trying to avoid being around people. So movies aren't that expensive. Like this past weekend when I went to see Aquaman, I went to Saturday, the very first show, and I was able to get some chicken fingers, and they gave me a free pop with the ticket, and because like I had to buy my, because it was so early, I bought my ticket at the concession stand. So with the ticket and the concessions all together, I spent $20. It wasn't that expensive. It was not that expensive. $20 for the movie, for the chicken fingers, and I got a free pop. Yeah. Blade got pushed back. Everything got pushed back. Wow. So sad for you. 30 to 40 every trip. Okay, that is a lot. I'm spending $20 to go see a movie. Like I said, I'm seeing the matinee. Yeah. Well, my neighborhood movie, my neighborhood theater, they have the reclining seats and they do have food, but it's not quite dine in. Because, like I said, I was able to get chicken fingers, and some other time I was able to get some nachos. They do have alcohol though. But because I go in the morning, because I'm always going in the morning, I'm never getting alcohol. But if I ever should happen to go to the movies at night, I'm gonna get me a drink because they have drinks there, and to be able to put your feet up and have a drink, awesome. Shrimp Alfredo, fancy, 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 fancy. Shrimp Alfredo. Okay, well, yeah. So don't know what's going to be going on this year. I feel like this year is going to be dry. 2025 is probably going to be on and popping. And I don't know when I'm going to be coming back. We'll see. We'll see how these next few shows, because, like, we'll see. We'll see. I'll let you know in the community posts when I want to come back, when I'm going to come back and do another live stream. If that's something that you want to talk about on a live stream, like a show or a video I did or anything like that, just let me know in the community posts. So then I can come back and we can talk about it. So I didn't get alcohol. I have alcohol. We can have drinks. No, no interest in the Percy Jackson series. I've never seen a single Percy Jackson movie. So I can't, I just, I keep seeing the ads for the Percy Jackson series, but I'm just not interested in that at all. I'm not interested in that at all. Yes. So, but yeah, like I said, I'll let you know in community posts if I'm going to be doing any live streams. If there's anything that you want to talk about, just let me know in the community posts and we'll come on and we'll live stream about it. So, in the meanwhile, thanks for watching.